Let me know if it all sounds good. Because with the music in the background, I just want to know if it sounds any good. Hey, does it sound good? Is the music loud or too quiet or too loud? All right, nice. Good, good. Wow, this Cocoa Bella stuff is really growing on me. I really like it. I shouldn't drink too much of it, but oh my god, it's refreshing. Definitely buy some more packs before they go off sale. All right, get into it. Where did I did A, B, C, D, and E. Man, I really figured it wasn't going to take this long, but it really will. Alright, doesn't matter. Alright, so I actually tried to play the Crew 2, but it wasn't working. It wasn't working, just won't connect to server. So frustrating, but I mean, it's Ubisoft. What can you expect? Yeah, you have fun too. Keep playing. Alright. Brush my teeth, I got toothpaste stuck in my beard. Alright. D, E, F. This is part 2 of the Steam library collection video thing that we're doing for... God, I should have looked up the guy's name who asked me to do this. Sorry about that if you're watching this. When I put it on YouTube, obviously not right now. Oh god, okay. So it took like an hour and 40 minutes to do 5 letters. So now we're up to F. Alright, we got F1 2019, F1 23, and F1 24. F1 2019, played a little bit of it, not too much, 25 hours or whatever. It was pretty good. I never owned 2020, that one was meant to be really, really good. Didn't own 21, didn't own 22, obviously. And then 23 I bought when Max was winning every single race in 23. I bought it, played 174 hours, was my most played game of that year for sure. And then 24 I actually bought on release and then was disappointed with the way it was and refunded it because it was like $100. And then I basically just what's it called? I refunded it and then I purchased it again right before 25 came out when it was like $10. And I played it for like 10 hours, as you can see, but it's whatever. I played a lot of F1 23 and I kind of got it out of my system with playing it that much, you know? Played it a lot. Anyway, Fable, The Lost Chapters. It's not Fable Anniversary because from what I was reading, Fable The Lost Chapters, you know, it's Fable 1. It's a better version than the remake, remaster, or whatever they did, Anniversary. It's meant to be much better. Like, yeah, it maybe not as nice looking, whatever, but it preserves the original game the best. I think they changed a bunch of things for Anniversary which people didn't like. And considering I've never played Fable, probably experience it in this way would be better. I've never played Fable 3. That used to be on Steam, but it's not anymore. Hopefully one day they'll bring it back. Fable 2 never actually had a PC port, which is a bit of a shame. But that one I did play on Xbox. 360, and I really did enjoy that. Never really was too much into Fable, you know, but you know, I mean, it could be fun. Fahrenheit, Indigo Prophecy in America, even though it's the only country that uses Fahrenheit, it doesn't make any sense. But Fahrenheit is a good title for a game. Indigo Prophecy is not. Fahrenheit is a good, well, I say good. It's an interesting game, but it's not a good game by any means. It was the precursor to Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human, etc. You've probably heard of it. It's fine, you know, it's whatever. Fallen Aces. This is another one of these New Blood interactive titles, meant to be very interesting, very good. I haven't gotten around to playing any of those, but that's definitely something I want to. Because those games, New Blood interactive, I mean, A Medieval, Dusk, Fallen Aces, Gloomwood, which we'll see soon, Maximum Action, what else? I'm forgetting, but Blood West, you know, all these games, immersive sims or stealth games or shooters, you know, but very high quality games. So I will definitely want to get into those at some point. Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout London, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout Tactics. Oh, cool. How you doing, bro? How you doing? How's your day? You're probably at work, aren't you? Because it's Friday. But yeah, it's good to see you. Always good to have you around. All right. What else have we got? So Fallout. So Fallout 1 and 2 CRPGs classics, you know, never played them before. Neither have I played Tactics. I mean, you know, those are just games I've never gotten into yet. I've just never touched them before. Always been a bit intimidated by them and by CRPGs in general. Fallout 3, one of my favorite games of all time. In the debate, which is better, Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, I don't know about better. I think probably New Vegas is a better game, but I prefer the world of Fallout 3. New Vegas is really awesome, but I've just spent more time with 3. And I don't know, the Capital Wasteland, I just like it a lot. I like it a lot. And Fallout 3 and New Vegas both incredible games. And I appreciate that. I'll try not to shout too much. Yeah, so Fallout 3, New Vegas, very fun. Obviously, I mean, they're classics, you know. Anyone should play them, everyone should play them. They're incredible games. Some of the greatest RPGs ever made. Fallout 4, however, not up to scratch. You know, it's still decent, and you can definitely make it a lot better with mods. Let's not spend too much time with it. I think I played it. Erica got it for me a couple years ago. Oh, I said a couple years ago, like 2018 or something, and I played it for quite a bit, but never got too far into it. Just, you know, I need to go back and play it, like so many other things. Like that's pretty much the running theme throughout my entire library, and it's pretty much all I said during the first video. Fallout 76, which is the equivalent to Elder Scrolls Online, but for Fallout, played it for what, like 10 hours, 11 hours. Funnily enough, it was actually the reason my Twitch account even has over 100 followers, because they're almost all from Fallout 76. Because at the time, Fallout 76 was really popular when I streamed it, like 2021, when I first started streaming. And a lot of people were watching at the time. I tended to get like 5 to 10 views, which was crazy for me personally, but I did enjoy it. But it was just, again, like, although I like Fallout as a world, just like Elder Scrolls, I prefer to have those experiences by myself, or like with someone here, you know, like single player, not with other people in the game. It's just more personal experience rather than I've never been such a fan of multiplayer games anyway. Fallout London, which is this incredible fan-made total conversion of Fallout 4 set in London. This is the GOG version, which you can, if you own Fallout 4 on GOG, you can just download it for free. So awesome. Like, it's so cool, and it's incredible that people like that, like Sky Oblivion, you know, stuff like that, or More Oblivion. I think it's Sky Oblivion. People, you know, creating Oblivion in the Skyrim engine and blending the worlds into one. I mean, it's just insane and it's incredible. And it puts developers like Bethesda to shame, especially when you compare it to something like Starfield, you know, which costs hundreds of millions of dollars, and this is free, you know, or not free, but you know what I'm saying. It's made by someone for free. They're not asking money for it. All right, Fallout, fantastic, you know. Anyway, Far Cry. We got Far Cry 1, we got Far Cry 2, we got Far Cry 3, 4, 5, 6, Blood Dragon, and New Dawn. Get some big franchises out of the way. Far Cry 1 was a game that I played. Far Cry 3 I pretty much played on release when it came out back in 2012 on the Xbox 360. Did I like it? Yes, I liked it a lot. Did I think it's the best Fallout? No. And the reason for that is because I always had a weakness for Fallout 2. Just said Fallout. Far Cry 2. I've always been very, very much into Far Cry 2. I think Far Cry 2 is one of the best kind of open world survival RPG light. It's not really an RPG, it's like an open world shooter, open world adventure game where there's serious consequences. You know, it's the world is oppressive, it's dangerous, it's difficult, but it's not crushingly difficult, you know, but it is decently difficult, especially if you compare it to something like Far Cry 5 or 6 that is just a joke when it comes to the difficulty. I mean, it's just a joke. It's so easy. Yeah. So Far Cry 2 was pretty incredible. Far Cry 1, I did play the entirety of it. I just remember playing it, and then it was fine, but then by the end of the game, like, it started glitching out really bad. All I remember is, like, it was, like, impossible to beat, and I ended up no-clipping in, like, one of the final missions, and then having to no-clip through the mission, and then I could beat it properly, or something like that. I can't remember. But there was a reason why I couldn't beat it. Maybe I was just bad, I can't remember. Did they add achievements for Far Cry 3? Yeah, they did. Okay, so I was gonna say, because with Far Cry 1, they wouldn't add achievements to that. Far Cry 2, they didn't add achievements for. Far Cry 3, they did. Far Cry 4, they did. Blood Dragon, they added achievements. 5, they added achievements, and 6 would have had achievements. And New Dawn, they added achievements? Yeah, okay. So it's just 1 and 2, which are neglected. Because they do not fit the... They do not fit the Far Cry formula, which is a bit of a shame, considering... It's one of those things. It's one of those things. Just give me 1 second. Should be back. All right. So Far Cry 1 and 2, they didn't fit the Far Cry formula that was so successful with 3, and then they pretty much made the same game another 3 times. With varying levels of success. I mean, I think Far Cry 3 is pretty great. Far Cry 4, I played through it once and it was whatever. You know, I kind of... what's his name? White Light. He made the perfect point where I really like the idea of, like, having 2 divergent paths where, you know, you just join Pagan Min from the beginning and you play the game through that way. But yeah, that's far more interesting because I personally think that the other characters, I don't even remember their names, the like rebel leaders or whatever in the game are so boring and they're so annoying and so hypercritical. Pagan Min is just honest with you from the beginning. Anyway, but that's kind of a running theme throughout the games about the you know, the villains being the central pieces of the story. Blood Dragon I tried to play, I didn't really like it. 5 I did really enjoy, but then when I finished the game and I tried to play New Dawn, I kind of had enough of playing Far Cry for a while, so I didn't play New Dawn. And then 6 I haven't played. Also, it's like what is it, like 170 gigabytes. And also again, like, although it could be a lot of fun, from what I heard, it was pretty mediocre. It was pretty mediocre, from what I heard from most people. So, in general, It's just not something I'm going to be playing at this moment, especially when I have the option to play something like Far Cry 2, which is just far more engaging. Even though I have played it before. Alright, Far Cry. Not Far Cry, for God's sake. Fear. So there's a bit of a weird thing here, because I've got Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. But, because this is just called Fear, and then that's called Fear and Hunger, it puts Fear 1, you know, the game from 2005, I think, came out, 2006? 2005, I think. It puts it in front of Fear and Hunger, which is really frustrating. But yeah, Fear and Hunger, I haven't played them before. I saw Pyro release a video about the first game, or maybe both, recently, like 2 days ago. But you know, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I just haven't played them. Fear itself, I have played it, and it's quite a good time. Fear is especially at the time it came out, it was a benchmark, and even to this day, it holds up especially well. You could just jump in and play and have a great time. Extraction Point and Perseus Mandate I have not played. Fear 2 I did try to play at some point. Played about an hour and a half, which is I think I played more than that. But I just remember I played it for a while. Tried to come back to it later, and then my save was gone, so I stopped playing it. But Fear 3, I've never played it. Might be fun to play in like a cool, like in the co-op mode. Might be a fun game to play through. FIFA 22. So I used to be very much a bit of a. I used to play a lot of FIFA. Basically, what I'm trying to say, and not recently. FIFA 22 was kind of the last FIFA game I played, which was like 3 or 4 years ago. Before that, it was FIFA 2019 on the PS4. Before that, the FIFA game I played before that a lot was probably like 2012, 2013. And before that, pretty much every single one before that. But I've taken big breaks from the FIFA series, and these days I don't really mess with those games anymore. Not something I'm too interested in, gotta be honest. I always did used to love FIFA, and FIFA's fun if you're with friends and you're throwing it on, but I just can't be bothered to play it by myself anymore. Don't enjoy it anymore. Final Fantasy. Don't have all the games here. You can see Final Fantasy 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 13, 2. Lightning Returns is somewhere. 15, and then X and X2. Or 10 and 10-2, sorry. Don't have anything to say because I have never played any of them. I did play Final Fantasy 15 on the PS4 when it came out. Had a good time with it, never finished it. It was fun, but it's just one of those things where I've kind of was like, well, maybe I should like start at a different game. I don't know, Final Fantasy 15, a lot of people say, oh, it's a good one to start with, but I think I played 10 or 10-2 back in when I was a kid. Like, so one of my friends would have borrowed it off one of my friends and played it, and I had no idea what the hell was going on because I was a kid. And I just wasn't. I don't think I had any understanding of the JRPGs. I still don't really, to be honest. Final Fantasy is just one of those series I've always wanted to get into and never really got around to getting into. Firewatch, an absolutely incredible experience. Played it at the beginning of 2024, had a blast. Was just an absolutely amazing time. And I'm actually just gonna do one thing really quickly because that is annoying me. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about. Actually, I'll just have to do it like this. Like that. Yeah, there we go. Let's do it like this. Does that cover? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's a very. I don't know why it's so big. I'll make it a little bit smaller. There we go. That's better. All right. I just that was annoying me because My the NVIDIA like background, the AI background removal thing, it makes your GPU like fan spin up heaps, and I can hear it through my headphones so loud. All right, yeah, sorry guys if you don't, I hope you don't mind the background. All right, what else? Yeah, Firewatch, incredible game. Played it in early 2024. It was one of the last experiences I had with streaming, where I was streaming it, and there was a guy who joined the stream who was like a veteran of Firewatch. He played the game like 100 times, and he was like just watching people play it for the first time, and I was playing it for the first time, and he pretty much guided me through the whole thing. But not just guided me, but also was like, you know, he was throwing me curveballs and throwing theories out there, which made it really, really interesting to play through, kind of together in that sense. And I played it all in one sitting, and it was a blast. It was so good. And I still have that playthrough on my channel. It's on my my main channel. Anyway, fantastic game. I mean, I don't know how you ever make a sequel to that game, but I wish they made more games. The people who made it. Flat Out 2, Flat Out Ultimate Carnage. Now, obviously, Flat Out 3 and 4 are missing because they're not very good, and I do own them, but they're hidden. I don't own 4, I think. Flat Out Games, Bugbear Entertainment, fantastic games. I think they went on to make Wreckfest eventually, which I own the first one, and I've not really played it. Flat Out 1, 2, and Ultimate Carnage. I think it's Ultimate Carnage. It might be Flat Out 2 that I played as a kid on like a family computer, someone else's computer, and really liked it. I thought it was really cool. Really great games, hold up to this day. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, they, as recently as December last year, so just like last month, they were getting updates, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look, December 2025, they're getting updates, which is just awesome. To see from games that are from like 25 years ago almost, you know, it's nuts, but that's awesome. The Forest, I mean, you probably know The Forest, or at least its sequel, Sons of the Forest. The original Forest, very fun game. Quite difficult, at least in my experience, it was pretty difficult. I'm not very good at those type of games, but interesting story, interesting world. Yeah, no, it's pretty decent game. Very fun to play co-op. What else? Forgive Me Father and Forgive Me Father 2. I think they're FPS games, like Lovecraftian FPS games. Haven't played them. I think they're Fulcrum, published by Fulcrum, and they're like meant to be really good compared to the rest of their library. They're the people who made or published Men of War. I might be completely wrong, but I think that's the case. Forgotten City, which is one of those games that's pretty dark. I think it started its life as a Skyrim mod, and eventually became its own thing, its own game. Haven't played it. It's meant to be pretty good though. Forza Horizon 4, I did play that quite a bit, and as well as Forza Horizon 5. I mean, yeah, like 40 something hours. Did really enjoy those games, but I wanted to play them with a friend, but the issue is that for some reason, it doesn't let you play with friends in other continents, or at least I haven't been able to get that to work, because my friend and I desperately, for hours and hours and hours, tried to join each other and play together, but it didn't work, and it's just a big shame. Because the game itself is great, you know, there's fun games, they're great racing games, the peak, you know, arcade racers, but obviously Microsoft delisting the games and you know, unless they do the same thing that the Crew 2 did, where they bring in a hybrid mode where you can play it offline, that would be very good, but, you know, knowing Microsoft, it seems pretty unlikely. Although, I say that, but I tried the Crew 2 today, and it didn't work. So, the offline mode, or the online mode. So, I don't know. It might be preaching to the choir, but Freedom Fighters, which is like this old school kind of FPS, sorry, third-person shooter set in, I think it's New York, and you just shit happens, and then you just join freedom fighters, and you kind of try to take over the city, or take back the city or something from this invading army. That's like, it's not like a remaster. I think it is like a bit of a remaster or a PC port with enhanced features or something like that. Pretty decent from what I hear. Frontline's Fuel of War is like this weird game. It's like old. I don't think this is like an enhanced port or anything. Definitely isn't, from what I understand. Has mediocre reviews, but some people really enjoy it. It's like one of those hybrid strategy first-person shooters. Oh my god, we're going for 25 minutes, and I'm only now almost on G. Crazy. Yeah, it's meant to be pretty interesting. Similar to something like, what's it called? Total War? No, it's not called Total War. That wouldn't be called that. Like a, you know, like a Mountain Blade, but like with guns. Something similar to that, and like resource management or whatever. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It looks pretty interesting. It's like dirt cheap. Frostpunk, which is one of those games that was very popular when it came out, and still to this day. You know, its sequel came out that didn't really live up to it, to the hype, or live up to the original. Brutally difficult from all accounts, or at least from what I know. Pretty interesting. All right, man. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Thank you. Frostpunk, yeah, pretty difficult. I haven't played it though. Looks interesting. Well, I'm gonna keep saying that, but it's most things. FTL, Faster Than Light, is a classic, strategy classic from, I think, 2012. A game that was really, really big when it came out, and still has a lot of people playing it to this day. It's a bit of a cult classic. Full Throttle is I bought Full Throttle Remastered, Grim Fandango Remastered, and I think Way of the Tentacle I had, or Day of the Tentacle, not Way of the Tentacle. Day of the Tentacle I had for a long time. But I bought Grim Fandango and Full Throttle because I didn't own those, but they were, again, they're like $1 during the sale. And classic Double Fine adventure games. I haven't played. I'm gonna say I haven't played. I'm not, like I said in the first one, I'm gonna stop saying I haven't played it. If I don't have much to say, you can assume I haven't played it, or it's a really boring game. But I will mention it if it is. So you shouldn't play it if it is. Gary's Mod. You know, do I really have to say anything about Gary's Mod? Really? Come on. I never really played it, though I played a little bit when it came out, but I didn't really enjoy it very much. It's you need friends, and I don't have friends. Getting over it. I did attempt it. How long? 2 hours. I played for 2 hours, and I was like, oh, this is gonna make me a little upset. It's fine. It's not that bad, but I can imagine harder challenges. But it was decently fun. But I remember like playing for 2 hours, getting really, really far into it, and then kind of flinging myself all the way back down, and then I kind of gave up, and I was like, okay, well that's it. When was the last time I played that? 2020. Yeah, there you go. I played it in 2020. Maybe I should give it a go at some point. Maybe that might be a fun time. We can give it a try. See how far we can get. Let me just check. Yeah, alright, cool, fine. That's nice. Alright. Okay. Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It really annoys me that all of the other games that are Tom Clancy games say Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, or Tom Clancy's, you know, Warfighter, or Tom Clancy's End War, or Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, or Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. But Breakpoint just says Ghost Recon Breakpoint, even though the actual title is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So annoying, because it puts it at the G and not at the T where it should be. Anyway, Gloomwood, which is this like spiritual sequel to like the original Thief games, very cool, made by David Szymanski as well, who did Dusk and stuff like that. God Hand, obviously a classic. Unless you're IGN, then it's a terrible game. But it's a classic. You know, it's a PS2 classic. It's an insult that it was never released on PC or anywhere else. But I mean, yeah, Clover Studios did Clover Studio really outdid themselves with that one. The God of War franchise, and I'm talking about the original God of War games here. I don't own the 2018 one or Ragnarok. This is the original games. Man, like God of War, the original games, 1 and 2 in particular, absolute classics. The third one, also meant to be very good, although I never played it myself. Neither did I play Ascension. And Change of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta, also very good. I mean, they came out originally for the PSP, then they got an Origins Collection re-release on the PS3. But I can only really speak about the first 2 games, which were absolutely incredible games. And really was the first game, because like as a kid, of course, like many kids at the time, I'd played GTA. But GTA doesn't have the level of violence that something like God of War has, by far. You know, especially games like Vice City and San Andreas, you know, the characters did not have the fidelity that God of War did, and that was 100 times more violent in every way. Anyway, fantastic series, and it's a crime that they're not on PC, because they would sell like hot bread. The Godfather, the game, and The Godfather Part 2. Now, obviously, apart from them also being some of my favorite films, the Godfather games are actually pretty decent, you know, movie games. The first one I saw a lot of when I was younger, but I never played it. The second one, however, is one of the most underrated games of all time, and a lot of people might play it and be like, "Oh, this is decent," but it's kind of mediocre. But I don't think so. I think it has incredible ideas, has an interesting story. You go to Miami, you go to New York, and you go to Havana. You're taking out all these different crime families, and it's open world, and you can choose the way you approach the game, and there's these crazy executions, and there's like you have all these, like, you can have your own team and different characters, and you can like upgrade the characters and upgrade their skills, and it's like there's this whole like family tree system, and you play as the Don, you know, you starting your own family, and it's really cool. I mean, I love that game on Xbox. Absolutely awesome game, very underrated. Going Medieval, I think this just got another update. Last time I played this was 2022, and I played it for 20 minutes because I didn't like it. But I think I got it for free. But it's one of those games that constantly gets updated. But it's just one of those games. I played it when it came, not when it came out. When did it come out? 2021. So I played it like a year and a half after it came out, 20 minutes, and was like, nah, this is I think it was way too hard or something for me. I had a really difficult time with it. I thought it was way too confusing. And now it's like 3 years later, or 4 years later, and it's like a massively expanded game. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. GoldenEye 007, I mean, obviously the GoldenEye from the N64, a classic. Don't have to say much about that. Golf It and Golf with Your Friends. Golf It was fine. I mean, I enjoyed it when I was playing it with Erica, but there was some things that it did better. But I think Golf with Your Friends, Erica and I, we played that plenty. Like Golf It was fine, but Golf with Your Friends was Golf with Your Friends was an absolute classic, and we've played that a lot. And I think there's a second one coming out. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Gone Home, meant to be pretty freaking depressing, but I haven't played it. It's not very long either. It's like 2 hours long. You can finish it in like 10 minutes or something, if you know what you're doing. Time has kind of passed it by. I mean, that was a game that when it came out was revolutionary in 2013, and now it's seen as kind of passé. Interesting though, interesting concept, interesting story, and I think the subject matter has been handled better in more recent games, but then at the same time it's an interesting game in its own right, and there is place for it in the gaming sphere. Games like that. Gothic 2, and Gothic 3. Obviously, Gothic 3 being the black sheep, but still having some redeeming qualities. Gothic 2 considered one of the greatest RPGs of all time, and Gothic 1 getting its remake soon. Haven't played them. Just like the Risen games, just like the Elex games, none of the Piranha Bytes games I have played. And if I'm not mistaken, they're all Polish. I think they're all Polish. Or German. They might be German, but I'm not sure. Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you might say, well, why is 5 and 6 not there? Well, 7 is not there, but 5 and 6 on the PS3 emulator do not run very well. Or at least I can never get them to run that well. Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, 4, obviously incredible games. Considered some of their best racing games, or best games, period. And I think the only one I ever really played was 4. When I was a kid, I owned 4 on the PS2. And I played a ton of 6 on my old PS3 I had back during COVID. I had a PS3, I didn't have a PC yet. And I really played, this is like 2020, and I played a lot of Gran Turismo 6. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, classic racing games. Anyway, GTA, well, I've got GTA 3, I've got GTA 4, I've got GTA 5, GTA San Andreas, and GTA Vice City. GTA 3, played it a couple times, was a little bit too young, didn't really own that when I was a kid. I mean, I did own it eventually, and then didn't really enjoy it very much. Kind of just played it for the novelty, which was a bit of a... Yeah, I'm sure if I go back there now as an adult and play it, I'll probably have a great time. But it was Vice City that I played when I was very young, like 5 or 6 years old, which you'd probably be like, well, that's ridiculously young, but yeah, yeah. And my dad got it for me very young, 5 years old. My dad got it for me for the PS2. We had a PS2, and my dad got it, and I remember playing it and just being blown away. And then San Andreas coming out when I was like 7, and just played a ton of that. Obviously, who didn't, you know? GTA 4 then came out eventually, and I didn't have an Xbox 360 at the time. I think that was a year later, 2009, I had one. And to this day, I think GTA 4 holds up. GTA 5, you know, is more polished, whatever. GTA 4 has its problems, but I think GTA 4 holds up as probably the best story. I think it has the best story. At least I think Niko Bellic is my favorite protagonist. Like the protagonist, honestly, from actually thinking about it, the protagonist from San Andreas and Vice City, I prefer CJ and Tommy Vercetti. I prefer over the protagonist from GTA 5. But again, I haven't played GTA in a very long time. I've never gotten into the multiplayer GTA Online or anything like that. So yeah, I should replay GTA again, all of them, with a fresh look, you know, as an adult. Kind of see where I'm at, or where the games are at, you know, because I also didn't go back and play the remastered versions of the games, because they really weren't that special. They had a lot of problems when they came out, especially nowadays. A lot of it's been fixed, but still, rather just play the originals. Anyway, Greedfall, which is I think published by Nacon, which are, you know, a hit or miss studio, made by Spiders. I think they're working on this. Like, okay, all right. I need to compose myself because I'm just blabbering. Greedfall was this weird kind of post-industrial, maybe pre-industrial time set RPG. Wow. Am I tired? Nothing I'm saying is making any sense here. It's a game. It's an RPG. It has an interesting setting. it's it's meant to be decent, you know. But I think they released like a year and a half ago. They released like Gridfall 2 in early access, and it had like no content. It was way overpriced. No one really bought it, and the people that did were disappointed. So it's meant to be decent. It's meant to be interesting, at least. The world is meant to be interesting. Grid 2, Grid 2019, and Grid Legends. No Grid Autosport. Was never able to get a copy of that when it came out. Oh, before it was delisted, which is a bit of a shame. Just like Project Cars 3, I never got a copy of that before it was delisted. Very sad, but you know, that's just a sad thing that they don't care about the preservation of video games, but okay, whatever. Oh, that's a good idea. Favorite game from each letter. Alright, so we're at the... Where are we now? Are we almost at the end of G? Yeah, we're almost at the end of G, finally. Let me go back quickly. So, favorite number. I would probably say 007 Nightfire is my favorite from the ones I've played. So only the ones I've played, obviously. 007 Nightfire on the PS2. I think the PC version is not very good, from what I know. So the PS2 version for sure. From A, oh my god, there's so many games in A. Ooh, some of them might be obvious, but ooh, I really like Alpha Protocol. But I think A is going to go to well, but then I have to decide which Assassin's Creed I like the most, which is a little bit difficult. It's definitely going to be an Assassin's Creed game. It's going to be Unity or Origins, because I haven't played Odyssey or Valhalla. Probably Unity. I think if we're just talking about pure Assassin's Creed, I think Unity is probably the best pure Assassin's Creed game, non-RPG. RPG, we're going to go Origins because I haven't played the other ones, but Unity, I think, probably is my favorite. Definitely, the Paris of Unity is one of the best game worlds I've ever seen. Beautiful, incredible. B. Again, a ton of games. Oh no, that's okay. Well, that kind of as good as some games like, you know, Batman Arkham Asylum are, or as much as I love Battlefield, multiplayer. I think that for me, that's a very difficult choice. It would be between BioShock and Binding of Isaac Rebirth. If we're going off of playtime, it's definitely Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and it's very, 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 very replayable. As everyone knows, there's still people making money off of their YouTube content to this day from that game, because it's just infinite and incredible. If we're going for a singular story experience, I don't think you can beat BioShock, the original. BioShock and Binding of Isaac are the ones that win that for sure. Call of Cthulhu. No, what am I saying? C, I mean. We got a ton of games in C, like a metric ton of games in C. I like Cuphead. I like Crusader Kings 3. Gosh. Oh, ooh, Red Alert is there too. Oh my god. The Call of Duty games are there. Ah. Okay. I really like World at War. I've said that. It's my favorite Call of Duty. Red Alert 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. But I'm gonna go for Condemned Criminal Origins because it's my favorite horror game. It's one of my favorite single-player games of all time. It's gonna be Condemned Criminal Origins for sure. D is gonna be very tough because it has Dark Souls in it and a bunch of other games. Actually, a ton of other games. God, that's difficult as well. Or at least the games like I have here. There might be some games I'm, you know. Dishonored is up there, definitely. Dishonored is incredible. Oh, that's so difficult, man. Okay, Dishonored definitely is up there. itchy head. Dishonored is definitely up there, but I'm gonna go for Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1. I gotta give it to it. It's the classic. It's the OG. Dark Souls 3 is close. Dark Souls 3 is close, but I would say Dark Souls 1, 3, and Dishonored. I mean, it's not a crazy pick or anything. It's pretty obvious, but of the games that are here that I have played, those are the ones I'm gonna say, look, those are, as much as I like Doom, as much as I like Dragon Age Origins, it's gonna be Dishonored, Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 3. From E, oh man, E has Elden Ring. E has all the Elder Scrolls games. It has Europa Universalis 4. Oh man. E is the worst. E is the worst. If we're gonna go with playtime, again, like Binding of Isaac, I would say Europa Universalis 4. Elden Ring is fantastic, but it's not my favorite. Like, I prefer Dark Souls. I would say probably Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. As much as I like Morrowind and Skyrim, I'm gonna say Oblivion, and I'm gonna say Europa Universalis 4. F, I mean, none of these games, to be honest, in F. Like, I like a lot of these games, but none of these games compare for me to Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Particularly Fallout 3. If I have to pick one, I'm gonna pick Fallout 3. And then we're in G, which where we were when we stopped looking. So let me just go through these. So Grim Dawn, ARPG, very, very insanely in depth. I mean, there's a website that just displays every single, like, there's just, I mean, it's like Path of Exile, but it's single player, and it's wild. It's wild. It's crazy. I have never delved into that, but I would like to at some point. Grim Fandango, like I said, Ground Branch. I bought it because, like a long time ago, I bought it because I thought it was going to be like Ready or Not, and it was going to be like a 0 Hour, which is a game that I made a video on like 2 years ago. I thought it was going to be like those games. It wasn't. It doesn't really work that well, to be honest. It has good reviews. I didn't really like it very much. Maybe in the future I'll go back and try it. Guilty Gear. There's a couple Guilty Gear games here. Guilty Gear games, that's hard to say. XRD Rev 2. XRD Sign. XX Accent Core Plus R. I don't know what any of these games are. I tried one of them, and just like the Blaze Blue games, very cool games, but I am not good at fighting games. I would like to become better at them, but that would take quite a bit of practice. Okay, so I keep forgetting I have the whole thing up. Sorry. Gun. I just should sit straight, otherwise my back's gonna hurt. Gun, which is like this game published by Activision, released by Neversoft, who did the Tony Hawk games, meant to be a pretty dang good Western. This is the GOG version. I don't own it on Steam. I got it for free. Just like a lot of these games I got for free. Like, I haven't just bought all of these. Like, back in the day, we used to get heaps of Humble Bundles. We used to, like, a ton of these games are from G2A, you know. Anyway, we got also another one here called Gujan 3, which one of those games, I have a sealed Japanese copy of one of the games for the PS3, which I picked up on eBay for like $1, and I don't know if it's worth anything, but I've had it for like 5 years. I should really check. Now that I think about it. Probably not worth anything though, but you know, you never know. If you ask me my favorite game of the G, actually being genuine, it's probably The Godfather Part 2. Godfather Part 2 or GTA 4. Yeah. GTA 4 or Godfather Part 2, for sure. For sure. Definitely. That's kind of what you wanted, right? You wanted me to tell you my favorite from each letter? And just do it every single time I finish a letter, just tell you my favorite? Ah, very good. Cool. Why? It's good though. Like this is great actually. Like it's kind of really good therapy. Like kind of looking at all the games and reminiscing about all of the different games and bringing up memories of all of them. And I'm like, hey, yeah, I really would like to go back and play that. You know, like I had with The Crew. I mean, I immediately installed it and launched it, and then it just didn't work. And I was gonna do like a road trip, but we should do that at some point in the future if I can get it ever to work. But we'll see. Yeah, I might as well give you my favorite as we go. Actually, it'd be nice. We should. I don't know if you remember my favorites, but I will write it down. What I should do is when I've finished this whole series of videos, because it's probably going to take at least one or two more videos. It depends on how much I can get done today. I should write down my favorites of every letter. And it can be 1 or 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. Just write down my favorites of every letter. And then I can go back and play those games. And because those are the games that I really, those are the games are the reasons I love gaming as much as I do. Anyway, let's keep going. Because we're at H. We've only been through 2 letters so far, and we're 50 minutes in. Hades, it's literally one of the best reviewed games on Steam. It's a roguelike that's meant to be fantastic. It's made by the people who made Bastion and Transistor. It has a sequel which was, in the competition for Best Game of the Year 2025. It's meant to be fantastic. I haven't played it. So, yeah, just haven't gone around to it. But yeah, it's meant to be a fantastic roguelike. And yeah, just haven't gotten around to it. Just like Half-Life. Just like Half-Life 1, 2, Blue Shift, Opposing Force. Or, like I said, Black Mesa. Literally some of the greatest games ever made. And so iconic. Such iconic games. I just not gotten around to. Because, again, like, Half-Life is one of those things that, like, I've played a lot of console games. I've played a lot of console games because I grew up with consoles, I grew up with a GameCube, a Nintendo 64, a PS2, an Xbox 360 eventually, a PS3 when I was older, a PS4. But I didn't have a computer that I could play games on really until 2013, So all these old games, and I was born when Half-Life 1 came out, so that's not, I wasn't around when that came out to play it. When Half-Life 2 came out, I was 6, barely. So it's just one of those things. And it would have scared me too much as a kid too, because I remember playing BioShock for the first time when I was 9, and it scaring the shit out of me, and having to wait like another 3 or 4 years before I was able to play it properly and play it all the way through. And it blew my mind. Halls of Torment, which was another like roguelike game, came out. I played a bit of it on the Steam Deck. I played like a couple hours of it. Yeah, it was fun, and I got like an expansion. But I kind of was like, just like kind of like that other game, Death Must Die. I was kind of like, oh yeah, everyone's trying to do the Vampire Survivors thing, and I just don't really like it very much. And then obviously Mega Bonk came out a couple months ago, and it's just taken Steam by storm. I own that as well. Haven't played it yet. Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Now, I never owned the original Xbox. And on the Xbox 360, the only Halo game I owned and played and really liked was Reach. Obviously a prequel to the original games. Hold on. My freaking head, I think... Oh man, my head is so sweaty. Sweaty head. Alright. Oh god. I think I need to extend the headphones a bit. I don't know why I'm wearing headphones. I don't have to listen to the music. What am I doing? I've been wearing headphones the whole time. For no reason. I don't need to wear headphones. Oh my god. Yeah, you could have said something. I don't need to listen to the music. The music's playing in the background anyway. It is, right? It's still going? Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh god, yeah. Like if I'm playing a game, I need the headphones, but now I got a hot ear. Got a hot ear. Halo Master Chief Collection. We played it for 40 hours. We played through Reach 1, 2, 3, 4. We didn't play ODST. But we played through the first with like the the big 5 games. And it was a great time. I really liked playing through them together. Eric and I played them all together. We tried to do it on Legendary, I remember, but I think Reach was fine, but then like Halo 1 and 2 just kind of, we were like, oh, that was tough. That was really tough. So we kind of dropped the difficulty a bit down and then did Halo 2, 3, 4. Had a great time. Great time. Great games, but I've never been much of a Halo guy, like a sci-fi kind of type of games. Like I never really been too much into those. Space Marine, that whole thing. Hard Reset, this is the Redux version there. That's a game that was like one of those games that came out and it flew out on the radar, and then I got a Redux version, and again I got it for free, I think. Like a lot of these, I have like Amazon Prime, and over time like Amazon Prime gave away a lot of free games. That's not true actually, it did, but they're all for GOG. They don't, or Epic Games Store, which I don't have. They don't give away games for Steam, which is fair enough. Hard to Be a God, which is this bizarre game, which is like a fantasy sci-fi game where you're like this. It doesn't matter. I don't really know much about it. I kind of bought it again because it was like 50 cents in a big bundle of a bunch of Eurojank. It looks really fun though. I barely would work on a modern PC, but who knows? We'll see. Hard Space Shipbreaker. I haven't actually gotten into because I can't remember why, but there was a reason why I didn't play it. Really fun game though. I remember watching the Seth video and was like, this seems like something I should play, and then I haven't yet. Hat in Time, which I was a bit confused. Why is that not in the A? In the A letter group category, but I guess it right. Platformer, very popular when it came out. Very well received. I played it a bit, I remember, for a little while, a long time ago, and I liked it, but couldn't really get into it too much for various reasons. Just like a lot of these games, it's not the game's fault, it's mine, it's not the game's fault. There's some games that, that kind of get boring, but I'm not saying Hat in Time is like that. There's some games that do that. Most of these games that I own are not one of them, because if they are, then I either don't know because I haven't played them, or I play them and I refund them. I have to just say that I've, like I said multiple times, is I have had a really hard time playing games in the last couple of years. When I first moved into our first apartment, 8 years ago, I had no problems playing video games. I could relax. I was so happy to finally be on my own. And then nowadays, I really struggle with it. Really struggle with it. But anyway, that's why this year, hopefully, we kind of made it a bit of a thing where, we wanted to play through a bunch more games than we have previously. Because we have so many games, and neither do, not just me, but she also does. She doesn't just have 10, 20 games, she has also like a couple hundred. And she had it way more than me at one point, which is crazy to think now, but she had more than me. Back when we first met, she had like twice as many games as I did. And then in the last few years, my library has grown like crazy. But I barely play any games, which is kind of fucked up, but I'm gonna change that this year. With help of the channel. And that's gonna and just in general, just if I'm glad she's playing games again. That's gonna really help me get back into game. Anyway, Hatred, which is was a game that was banned in Australia. It was banned in a couple places actually. It was. Hold on. Oh. What am I doing? Come on. Yeah. Hatred was one of those games that it was there to create controversy. You know, it was ridiculously over the top, ridiculously stupid. It wasn't a good game or anything like that. I finished it. I actually did finish it. Yeah, it took like 4 hours. It was a pretty short game. I did finish it because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. But it's actually gets really interesting because it's a top-down game, but you can actually install a mod. I don't know if it's in, if there's, it has a workshop mod. Look at that. 2020, what? It's still getting updates now. That's pretty interesting. But it was one of those things that, you know, maybe we should go back to it at some point. There was one of those mods for it where you could play the whole game in first person, which gave the violence a completely different kind of, you know, it was a very different type of game. And when the violence is up close like that, you really feel kind of gross playing it. But then again, you could say, well, you know, when we play GTA, that also happens, or Red Dead Redemption 2, whatever. But those games, there's a catharsis to it. This game doesn't have that. It's meant to be. It's shocking to be for the sake of being shocking, you know. Anyway, Hearts of Iron 3. I never play. Hearts of Iron 4. I have played over 100 hours, and I still do not understand how it works. I've played a lot of EU4, as you've seen, and I'm fine playing that. But Hearts of Iron 4, I do not understand how it works. I do not understand how it works. I have never been able to complete a campaign successfully in over 100 hours of playing because it's so complicated, and I just don't understand. I don't understand how navies work. I don't understand how aircraft works. I just don't understand. It's very cool, but again, just like Crusader Kings 3 and all the Paradox games, there is just too much freaking DLC. It's so frustrating, and it is such a shame that Paradox insists in shoveling all this DLC down your throat for so much money, and it really pushes people away from the game and what it has to offer, which is a big shame, you know. It's a big shame. Hell Let Loose. Now that's a big multiplayer World War, I think it's World War II shooter that is a lot of fun. But these days, I think it got taken over by a new developer or something like that, and then it went really backwards, and it's one of those, like, you get hit once and you're dead kind of thing, and then you got to walk for 10 minutes before you get back to the front line, and you just get hit again, and then you just die, and it's just no fun. And some people really like that, but these days apparently there's no communication anymore, and a lot of the people have left, like the serious players. And so it doesn't really hold up as it used to. And then they're gonna make a new one, Hell Let Loose Vietnam or something like that, which is meant to be, well, saying Vietnam, and hopefully that one will be a bit better. But I have a bit of a bad feeling about games like that. They always tend to not do very well, you know, especially when the original devs have left. Just give me 1 second. Everything good, everything good. I was just grabbing some regular water. Shouldn't be drinking too much coconut water. Give yourself a stomach ache. Oh, excuse me. Ha. Oh, God. Whew, I've been talking, just non-stop talking. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. I haven't played it before. It looks very interesting. I really like the way the game looks. I really like the voice work. It's very incredible what they've done with it. So Erica played it. She really, really liked it. I actually watched quite a bit of the game when she was playing it, and it looked quite interesting. I haven't gone around to playing it, but it's definitely a game that I would like. I think it's meant to be very, very immersive, with all the all the different voices going around your head. Like the main character, it immerses you into the world of the main character, which is always a plus. Hellish Court, which is like this, it's like this one-on-one sword fighting game. With all different characters from different parts of the world, different cultures, different eras of sword fighting, different styles. Very realistic fighting. The game Half Sword, which is like one of the most wishlisted game on Steam at this point. That's a game that's meant to be kind of a natural step up from this, but if that's going to be any good, we'll see. Because the demo apparently has pretty bad reception so far. Helltaker, very good free-to-play game. I beat it in like 2 hours, but that's fine. It's like it's a puzzle game. But I'm not gonna go into it. But it's a puzzle game, and it only takes about 2 hours to beat. The final like level is pretty difficult, but it's not that bad. You can beat it, if you just give it a try, and it's a lot of fun. If you don't have much money, you want to play a fun puzzle game, Helltaker is great. Heroes of Might and Magic 5. So that's Hems of Fate, Tribes of the East, and the original. Absolutely awesome. I love Heroes of Might and Magic 5. I had a big box set of all three, like the main game and the 2 expansions back home in the Netherlands. I loved playing Heroes of Might and Magic 5. One of my favorite strategy games out there. Such a shame that the series doesn't, they had 6 and 7, which I didn't play. I own them both, but now that I saw that like Ubisoft is causing a lot of problems with game keys and people not being able to access the stuff they bought, which is a big shame. But I mean, it's Ubisoft. What can you expect? But I wish they'd ever release the Heroes of Might and Magic 8. That would be awesome. That would be so nice. Anyway, gosh, Hi-Fi Rush, which is it still available for purchase? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Because Tango Gameworks, who made it, they went bust. They went under. They made Hi-Fi Rush and also made the Evil Within games, which is a big shame that they went bust. Now, no, it's not a shame that they made the games. The games are great, but it's they went under, and that's a bit of a shame. Hi-Fi Rush, it's like a rhythm game. Like it's like a not a rhythm game. It's like a it's like a hack and slash rhythm action game with it, like apparently having a really good soundtrack. Not played it myself. Again, why do I say that? You can see you haven't played it. Hitman, the Hitman series. We'll go. It's in such an annoying. You got Hitman 1, and you got Hitman 2 there, and then you got Hitman 3 over here. God, I hate that you can't just move them. Like, what's interesting is that it lets you move them into collections, but it doesn't let you move them like that. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. Hitman Codename 47, the very first Hitman, I did finish. I did play it. I did finish it. It took me about 6.5 hours. Played it a really long time ago, and it was a struggle to get through. It has some interesting things in it, but there's also some absolutely horrible things in it. Like, just really annoying, bad level design, etc. We know that. Hitman 2, however, and Contracts, those two I've never played before. Very interesting games. Fixed a lot of the issues from the very first one. But then came, in my opinion, the best Hitman game. Hitman Blood Money. And a lot of people now would say, oh, well, the Hitman trilogy, the new trilogy, definitely better than Blood Money, whatever. I always really liked Blood Money because I also really like the story. I really like the variety in the missions, all the different places you go, from the casino to the boat on the river. You go to New Orleans during Mardi Gras. You go to what's it called, the like there's a hotel. You got the but here you have the Playboy Mansion thing. You got There's so many different crazy missions in that game, and it's just awesome. Absolution was not everyone's taste, and I totally understand that. I actually didn't really mind Absolution. I think it was pretty okay, but I think that's because I played it when it came out, 2012, on Xbox, and you know, I was also kind of, you know, I was still pretty young, and I kind of was like, oh, I got it as a gift, you know, I'm gonna enjoy it. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, but I mean, Blood Money, Absolution was never gonna top Blood Money. They could have, but they didn't. There's such a big gap in between. And then there was another big gap where they made Hitman 1, 2, and 3, which I gotta say, the episodic way that they released the games was idiotic. It was very silly that they did that, but again, eventually now it's all World of Assassination anyway. And they got the celebrity contracts and all this sort of stuff, crazy stuff. It worked out for them. It ended up being a fantastic trilogy. All 3 games are worth playing. All 3 games are unique. They're very interesting. I probably wouldn't recommend playing all 3 of them in a row. You probably play 1, play another game, come back to Hitman 2, play another game, come back to Hitman 3. Because if you're playing all of them and then not just playing like the level 1s, killing everyone and then just moving on. If you're actually trying to play properly and unlocking all the stuff, you want to finish one game completely and then take a break, because otherwise it's 3 full games, you know. You don't want to play all 3 of them at once. Or maybe you do, you know, maybe you do. Maybe you're that kind of person. Hogwarts Legacy. I played it about 6 hours. Got it for really cheap. Or maybe we've gone for free for some reason. I think I got it for really cheap. I tried it out a couple years after it came out. And it was fine. It was... Oh, excuse me. It was fine. It was fine. I didn't get much sleep last night. It was fine. And I really liked exploring the world, but I'm not that big of a fan of Harry Potter. So I you know, I thought the novelty was interesting. Sorry about my stupid chair, by the way. It's so squeaky. I thought the novelty was interesting, but it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. And if you like it, more power to you. It's just, you know, maybe at some point I'll go back to it, but we'll see. Now, Hollow Knight. And Hollow Knight Silksong, and I own Silksong because it was only 20 fucking Australian dollars, and I had to buy it because I just wanted to. I never have that feeling where I'm like, oh, I want to buy it to support the devs. I think the only time I've done that before is when I bought Dwarf Fortress when that came out on release back in 2022. And then, like I said in the last video, didn't play it because it's just one of those things I need to devote like a whole year to learning. And I you know. Anyway, you know, before mentioned reasons. Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong obviously are games that I'll probably really enjoy, but they're hard. And for a long time, I think since about Elden Ring, I haven't played a game. Well, maybe not. I played Neo 2 after Elden Ring. Pretty much since then, and that's been like 2 years. I haven't gone and played any difficult. I haven't played that many games in general. Maybe I should go back and play a difficult game, you know, challenge myself a bit. But Hollow Knight I actually haven't played, which is pretty unusual for me, considering I've played things like Cuphead and stuff. Homefront and Homefront The Revolution package deal. I tried to play Homefront The Revolution actually pretty recently. Got a couple hours into it. It was fun, it was decent, you know, it wasn't the worst story, wasn't the best, but it was alright. And I can see how people liked it. I just realized actually, the reason I stopped playing wasn't because I didn't have fun. The reason I stopped playing is because the game glitched out. And I actually went back, reloaded my save. Oh god, oh god, this is so annoying. I need to get some sleep. I played the game for a long time, got to a certain mission where you're going through this section where you have to walk through a security checkpoint. And for some reason, the NPC that you're with, he goes through like normal, but he won't. There's just a bunch of NPCs standing there, and he walks through the NPCs, he clips through them. But to your character, the NPCs are static, so you can't clip through them. And I just had so much trouble with. Are you turning off the aircon? You a bit cold? Okay. All right. Uh, so, what was I saying? Homefront 1, I beat on the Xbox. It was one of those games I got on the Xbox because I thought it was interesting. It was like, 4 hours long, and it just didn't, it didn't hold a candle to the other, to the Call of Duty campaigns, of course. It was fine, but it's just one of those things. And the fact that I got a sequel was pretty crazy. With an interesting idea, but it's just... It speaks, to the most mediocre of experiences. Homeworld Remastered Collection. I've never played any Homeworld games. Homeworld 3 was a freaking disaster, by all accounts. You can pick it up these days for like 70 cents off of G2A. Do not spend any money on that game if you intend to play the third one, which I don't know why you would, considering there's so much better stuff out there in that genre. Even the first 2 games. Hot Wheels Unleashed. I think I got it for free. They were giving it away for like $2 or something as well. So I can't remember if I got it for really cheap or for free. But again, it's nice because there isn't that many kart style racers, arcade style racers on Steam that are good, because stuff like Mario Kart isn't on Steam, and of course you can emulate, but you know what I'm saying. Especially if you want to play newer stuff like... Oh fuck! Oh my god! Sorry about the yawning. I think I'm gonna end on the H because I can't keep yawning like this. You can't, if you want to play like something like Super Mario Kart 8 or Super Mario Kart World. You can't, on a PC. Sorry about the chair as well. Hotline Miami 1 and 2 of my favorite games of all time. And actually, if we're going back to what Eric said about the H, what is my favorite game? It would be between... Ooh, I don't remember. Actually, I'm going to say Hitman Blood Money, and I'm going to say that just for the fact that I do not remember which Hotline Miami I enjoy more. I beat both of the games once, but I do not remember which one I enjoy more, but I love Hotline Miami. Both of them are absolutely amazing. Such incredible games. Absolutely amazing. I really need to play them again. Really do. Horot, I think that's how you pronounce it. Horot is a boomer shooter with a really cool aesthetic. Picked it up during the winter sale for very cheap. It was very cheap and looks very cool, very fun. Human Fall Flat. I was actually so surprised. I saw that it was ranked as like the 11th best-selling game of all time, or 10th best-selling game of all time. It's unbelievable. I think in China it's really popular, but it's just crazy. I have never played it. I bought it for like a 50 cents. It was like $1 or something like that on sale. And I just thought, what? It's been like 10 years, I know, but I want to see what all the fuss was about. Which might be an interesting video for the channel, playing it for the first time. Honey Pop and Honey Pop 2 Double Date. Honey Pop 1 was kind of whatever, and I played it a bit. I played it for like 8 hours. But the second game, Double Date, that game was really addicting, really fun, and I remember playing it. I was going through Europe with a friend like 3 years ago. We just had a laptop with us, and we would like co-op the game where it was really fun. We hooked it up to a TV and we played that, and we played a couple other games, and we beat the whole thing. And it took like 30 hours in total to play. Really fun. I have fond memories of playing that. Hyperdimension, Neptunian 1, 2, 3. I got those for free from like a bundle like years ago, and I never played them. Any of the Idea Factory games, or I think that's what Idea Factory. Never. I mean, they're just JRPGs. I need to JRPGs. If I'm gonna play any of them, I'm gonna play a Final Fantasy first. I'm gonna play a Dragon Quest first, you know, I'm not going to start with Hyperdimension Neptunia, you know, whatever. And yeah, that's it. That's it for H, and I think, yeah, that's... Oh, we can do I. We can do I. I only has a couple of them. And so does J. Alright, we'll do I and J, and then we'll end before we get to K. We might as well just... What time are we at? 20 minutes. Okay, we got 20 minutes to match the former video. Let's just keep going. I Am Your Beast, which is actually one of... I was surprised. It's literally, like, in terms of sheer numbers, it's one of the best rated games on Steam. It's also a very short experience, if I'm not mistaken, but it's meant to be really fun. Icewind Dale. It's like Baldur's Gate, but it's more focused on dungeon crawling and combat instead of decision making and RPG elements. Imperial Rome, which was a kind of a flop from Paradox. And then nowadays, actually, it's reviewed pretty damn well. It's gotten a big following because nowadays you can pick it up for extremely cheap with all of the DLC, and you have a really good time, mostly because of all the mods people have made for it, of course. Yeah, let me just quickly check. Is the music still going? Yeah, I can't hear it obviously, not having the headphones in. Incursion Red River, which was this really weird... I played it for a bit. It's like this solo developer or a very small team. I think it's a solo developer's attempt to make a Escape from Tarkov game. Pretty fun, but it needs a lot more work. Industria, which is like this really weird game, which is getting a sequel, which is more horror focused. This one is not as horror focused. It's a woman in East Berlin, if I'm not mistaken, where it's like, but like, it's like in the future or something like that. It's pretty weird, but it's a pretty interesting story. What else? Injustice Gods Among Us. I played the first Injustice Gods Among Us, finished the campaign. It was fine. It's not, you know, like I said, I've not played many fighting games. Injustice 2 is meant to be very good by all accounts. But Injustice Gods Among Us, I thought it was fun, it was decent, but it wasn't like the greatest thing of all time. Inside, which is the sequel to Limbo, neither of which I've ever played, but they obviously are considered classics for various reasons. Instinct, again, Eurojank bundle, that's all I'm gonna say. Instruments of Destruction, that was a game that came out and was really crazy because it had this really good reception, you know, like 91% positive reviews. And it's like, you know, $30, $15. It's like, I don't know what happened, if a bunch of keys got leaked or something, but if you want to get that from G2A, you can get it for like 70 or like 50 cents American. It's wild. Intravenous 2, which, just watch the Seth video on it. He goes over, like, Intravenous 2 has Intravenous 1 and 2 in one game, which is awesome. And then he did that for, I think it's really cheap or for free or something like that, the developer, which is so cool. Isekai Quest, which is just literally like a game like Mirror or Wish, if you know those games, which is like a match 3. It's like Honey Pop, basically. And then Isonzo, which is the third game in the Bleak Mill trilogy of World War I shooters. You got Tannenberg, Verdun, Isonzo, and then there's going to be a Gallipoli one now coming out in the future in 2026, which is this year. With actually, what's interesting is of the games that are here, I haven't played any of them except Injustice Gods Among Us. I've played Incursion Red River, but that's not a finished game by any means. I haven't played any of the other games, which just means that Injustice Gods Among Us happens to be my favorite of them. Which is pretty weird because I didn't really like it very much, but I guess, yeah, I haven't really played any of the others. By default, it's just my favorite. Jade Empire, a BioWare RPG that was released in like 2004 or 5. They made it in between. They tried to start a franchise, but you know they did their own thing after making Knights of the Old Republic, and then eventually, obviously, they went instead to focus on making Mass Effect, which was a much bigger success than Jade Empire was. But Jade Empire does deserve a space in history. I think it's a very interesting idea, and I hope maybe one day there'll be a Jade Empire 2. Can you imagine how cool that would be in modern graphics, with you know, a bit of old school BioWare love, and not the modern trash like Vilgard. Anyway, Jagged Alliance 3. Jagged Alliance obviously is a legendary franchise, tactical shooters. I got that for free, I think, from something. It's meant to be pretty decent, very pretty looking game, I'm gonna say. And yeah, never played any of the old Jagged Alliance games. They're meant to be classic. Jagged Alliance 1, Gold, I think it's called. Jazz Punk is this really weird game, a bit better just experience than me talking to you about it. It's pretty interesting. I think I got that free in a bundle many years ago. Interesting game though. Jet Set Radio, of course, you probably know Jet Set Radio. Or Jet Set Radio Future, which is the sequel, which never got a PC port, if I'm not mistaken. Judgment, set in the Yakuza universe, but you're instead a cop instead of a member of the Yakuza. And it's apparently it starts pretty slow. I think you need about 6 chapters before you really get into the meat of the game, which is pretty crazy, but those games, they're long games, and the Judgment games in particular are pretty long. You got Lost Judgment, of course, which I don't own it, but it's they're meant to be pretty decent games from what I hear. Juice 2 Hot Import Nights came out in the 2000s. Well, actually, was that like 2010, 2011? No, it would be earlier. It seemed like they couldn't do something like that in like 2011. I think that's from like 2007, maybe 2008 at the latest. There's a sequel to Juiced 1, Hot Import Nights, riding the wave of the 2000s, everything trying to be Need for Speed Most Wanted. Or, sorry, Need for Speed Underground, and then obviously Most Wanted I say because it's my favorite one, and then, I preferred Most Wanted. I never played Underground or Underground 2, I played Most Wanted and I played Carbon. But yeah, decent game, just like Midnight Club. Midnight Club 3 was incredible. Midnight Club 3 was just amazing. Anyway, we'll come on to that later. Jurassic World Evolution. There's 3 of those games now. I only own the first one, and yeah, Jurassic, it's like Zoo Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Sorry, Planet Zoo is a better way of saying it because that's actually the same developer, Frontier Development. It's like Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster, but it's Jurassic World. That's what it is. And they've refined their formula every single game. And then finally, we have the Just Cause series of games. We have got Just Cause 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just Cause 1 is very similar to something like Assassin's Creed 1, very similar to something like maybe Far Cry 1, where it's more of a tech demo than it is an actual game. It doesn't have a lot to it. It's very limited in what you can and can't do. It's interesting. Obviously, it has some cool ideas. But it's the second game where it really comes to pass. And the second game is by far one of my favorite games of all time. It would, if I had made a top 20 or a top 15, yeah, a top 15, it would definitely be in there. Top 10, maybe even. I'm not sure. Maybe just barely not in the top 10, but it might be in there, Just Cause 2 is just such an incredible game. It's so incredible. And in Just Cause 3, I'd never played it much. I played it a couple times because I tried to get into it and I just couldn't. Because I'd just be like, well, it doesn't have the charm that Just Cause 2 has. And Just Cause 4, never played it before. I will eventually. But yeah. So that's the J. And yeah, obviously Just Cause 2 is my favorite of the letter J. Yeah. That's it. That's it for today. We've done another hour and a half of going through the letters. What letters did we do today? We did F. We did G. We did H. We did I. And we did J. Wait, what? Wait, yep. So again, we just did 5 letters. My God. Crazy. I mean, it's going to take... At this rate, it's going to take another 3 videos before we get to... Does K have a lot? Yeah, K has a lot. L has a lot as well. M and N going to have a lot. Man, that's why I wasn't expecting it to take this long, but I mean, it's fine. You know, yeah, 8-part series. No, it's gonna. I think 5 parts should do it, which is already crazy to think about. But 5 parts should do it. Maybe even 4 if we make the last one a bit longer. I mean, if I'm getting closer to the end, I might as well just keep going, right? But I can feel myself getting a bit tired, and we're at the same time I finished the last one, and K is a bit too long to keep going. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. I will be streaming in the morning to record my new video for YouTube, and then I will stream at night to do the next part of this, which will be starting from K. Thank you, and good night.